today, and I say that quite sincerely, not because I'm speaking now, but our guest speaker has some great information to share with you with an organization that is near and dear to Rotary's heart here in the area, of course, and that's the Glen Pantry. And what many of you may not know is that after decades of service, Judy Moody is no longer the director of the Pantry. She served miraculously and for a long time and put her heart and soul into that organization. And there's an exciting change that has taken place there, and Jane's going to share that information with you in a moment. So this is a real timely presentation, as well as some updates on, with COVID in the area, job losses. We tend to take a lot for granted in Edwardsville and Glen Carbon that there's not problems around here. Everyone's doing fine. Everyone's got plenty of money, yada, yada. And we know that's not the case, but she's going to share some really helpful information. So Jane Balster's AC goes by the motto of making our community a better place. These are words that generation of Jane's family have taken seriously. Well. Jane is humbled to carry on that passion in her current position as the Director of Development at the Glen Pantry. Her focus is on fiscal security for the pantry, which is paramount to us continuing to provide healthy food for our neighbors in need. Jane has served on several boards that serve children in Wisconsin and the Bethalto area. It has been exciting to be able to provide leadership to the pantry during these changing times. Jane is a wife, a mother of 7, a grandma of 10. In her free time is spent with family, church, the Bethalto Market in the park, Bethalto Christmas Village, and also fixing up an old farm. So why don't we give a great Rotary round of applause and greet Jane as she comes in to tell us about what's going on at the pantry.
Thank you. Thank you. Come on over. So good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of your meeting today and let you know what's going on at the pantry. Thank you, Brian, for the nice introduction, and we'll just start from there. After 40 years of service, Judy did retire, well-deserved after that many years, but she left really big shoes. And so it's taken 2 of us to fill those shoes. So I am the Director of Development, and Amy just stepped out. That's what I'm walking for. Co-partner is Amy Poos, who is the Director of Operations. So between the 2 of us, we are taking the pantry, hopefully, to new heights is our goal. It's been an interesting journey. So we started January 1, and then, as you know, the pandemic hit mid-March. So like any of us starting a new job, we were just getting our feet wet, trying to start figuring things out, and then we had to figure out how we were going to do this. So we didn't know what to expect. So I will tell you, we've had a large number of increase in clients, people that need help and assistance. And they've continued, and we don't know how long that's going to continue. As people get back to work, we know there's a lot of other pressing bills that if we can help them with food insecurity during this time, we're certainly planning to be here to do that. It's been interesting. So not only did we have to know that we needed to feed more people, we had to work on less volunteers. So it was a whole multitude of things. And how do we keep everybody safe? So one of the first decisions we made is we want to make sure our food goes as far as it could. Because as all of you know, the grocery store shelves went empty. So all of our resources went empty as well. The resources that we had at that time also went empty as well. We received food from Schnucks and Deerbergs on a weekly basis, but when they didn't have anything and everything was being sold off the shelves, we didn't have that. And we were shopping locally and we couldn't do that because they didn't have the resources. So fortunately, we were able to build some relationships with some food service people so that we now have that food security to provide to our clients. So we're very thankful for that. And so what we wanted to do is, of course, keep everybody safe. So then we had to go to curbside service. So that was another change in our service model. We put a table outside, people called for appointments, we had it ready for them, and they could put it into their trunk. No contact with keeping our volunteers safe and our clients safe. Because as you know, many of our clients do have health issues. They are compromised, so keeping them healthy was paramount. So volunteers, then we had to cut back on volunteers. We cut it down to the minimal of 4 volunteers on site because we wanted to keep the risk as low as possible. Most of our volunteers are in the vulnerable age range. So we had to, keep them as safe as possible. So we've had to train a lot of new volunteers. We've had a lot of gaps. So that's been ever changing and exciting. Trying to keep that going as well. And then I had to figure out how we were going to get the money to do all this. Because when you're feeding more people, you're taking care of more people, it obviously takes more funds. And I didn't have to look far because this is a very gracious community, very giving and caring. I cannot tell you the subdivision drives we had that just brought carloads of food and money in. Just people personally dropping off donations. What a generous and caring community. And we are so thankful to be able to be a part of that. And because of that caring and generosity, we are able to continue that mission and feed these people through these times of food insecurity. I know it's something we don't like to talk about, but we do have hunger in this community. As affluent as we are, there is a lot of food insecurity and there are some homelessness. We're going to do a little video in a minute, and I forgot to start my timer, so my apologies, I had it ready to go. We do have homeless. So about every other week, well, during the pandemic, we've had it almost weekly. We have homeless folks come to get a homeless bag that they can, we try to provide them food that they can eat without any kind of heat source or cool source. We try to provide them additional fluids, sometimes some clothing, things like that. So we need to keep and remember that we do have these in our community as we move forward. So our district, let's start back. Our service area is Unit 7 School District. So that's Morrow, Dorsey, Prairie Town, Warden, Edwardsville, Glen Carbon. That is our service area, and that's our primary service area. One of the things we were glad we were able to do was we did serve the school lunches. So after school closed, the school didn't have the resources to continue to pass out breakfast and lunches. So we took that over and had volunteers on Monday mornings that came out and passed out school lunches and breakfasts. So we were very happy to be able to coordinate with the schools and do that, and very pleased that we were able to do that. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break and I'll show you around the pantry real quick. Can we start the video, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Pantry. We are going to take you on a personal tour of the pantry. So come on in. And we're going to be walking into our freshly painted, calming reception area. So thank you to Sherwin-Williams for the paint and SIUE students for volunteering their labor. As we come into the pantry, you will see some packed bags. Those bags are for folks who just come up, need assistance. And then the backpacks are for our homeless clients. That way they can easily take it with them, and we provide foods that they can eat just directly out of the cans.
Thanks.
Next, you will see our board that's updated each day with fresh produce that we have on hand. We've been working very hard to increase the amount of fresh produce that we can supply to our clients. Next is where one of our most important volunteers are, and that is our greeter. So the greeter greets everybody, whether it's a donor, whether it's a client, anybody that needs help, that person can help them. So they're well trained and very resourceful. Last important piece on here is our resource board, our program and resource board. It holds job postings, any kind of resource that we think might be of value to our client. From the reception area, we walk into the hallway with our nice little CDC signs, and we go into the actual pantry area. And this is the area where you'll see we have some back stock, and then our sorting table. So anytime we receive donations, they come into our sorting table. From there, our volunteers weigh them. Once that weight has been recorded, it goes directly onto the shelves to be distributed to the clients. And as we round the corner, then we go into our serving area. So these are the shelves filled with donated items and goods that we can provide our clients. So you can see we have a fairly good assortment from soups and canned meats and vegetables and everything that we can to try to provide them that they can produce a well-rounded meal, as well as we have some folks who don't do a lot of cooking. So we have some meals that are easy, like Hamburger Helper. So we try to keep on hand as much of the prepared that we can. This is our scale that we use to weigh out the product. So again, we weigh in and we weigh out. That's how our inventory is controlled. As we exit the serving room, we go into our kitchen area. We are very fortunate to have a built-in freezer and walk-in freezer and a walk-in cooler. And the beauty of these is we can supply meat. Unlike a lot of other pantries that don't have the resources that we have, we are able to supply meat, more fresh vegetables, more healthy product for our clients. So we are very grateful for that. The fine X you see in front of you, that's where the client stands for safety for theirs and our volunteers as they come to the window to look at what there is for them to select from. So this is what our client sees when they come in to go shopping for their food. So I'm gonna make you a little dizzy now, and we're gonna go to the second floor of our building because we have more services for our clients up there. We are fortunate enough that we can provide a place for our clients to get free clothing, shoes, and housewares. So on our second level, my teammate Amy Poos has worked very hard during the pandemic getting this reorganized. So before we had a hodgepodge of different kinds of rounders and organizers to hang clothes from. She's taken this time, and we received some shelving due to the gracious donation of Cambria Homes. They donated these lovely clothing racks. So we were able to sort by men's, women's, children's, juniors. Just very easy to shop now for our clients. And through a gracious donation from the Junior Service League, we were able to purchase these shoe racks. So before, our shoes were on the floor, and you would essentially stand on your head to see if you could find a pair of shoes or a mate for a shoe.
But now we've been able to make it so that it's easy to shop. You can see what's there. Ooh, that kind of makes you dizzy probably. This is our children's section. You can see we have a large selection, which we're beefing up because we're getting ready to go back to school. We know many of our clients.
That's good. You got it. You got an idea. That's good. You can stop it. So thank you so much. I hope that helps you understand a little bit about what we look like and kind of the services that we provide. Going forward in the future, right now we're having our back to school drive. Thank you to Cassens for allowing us to park a school bus in their lot with a banner to promote our back to school drive. We're compiling collection sites so that people can leave donations all over town. This drive will go from July 1st to August 1st. We'll be distributing backpacks to our students on August 8th. Last year we did 242 backpacks. We're expecting to do 300 this year. So please keep us in your thoughts as you're looking at donations for there. And then one last bit for the future. We haven't had a lot of time to plan for the future, but for the future right now we are planning to change to what's called a shopping model. And one of the things in our mission is we want to treat all of our clients with dignity and respect and equity. And one way that we can do that, it is a bit unnerving to have to go to a food pantry, to have to ask for food. Day before yesterday, I'm in my office and I hear this woman say, "There's a can of mushrooms. Can I have that can of mushrooms?" Do any of us ask that when we go to the grocery store? No, we pick it up, we put it in our cart. So to provide that dignity to our clients, we're going to go to a shopping model. We're in the process of acquiring some coolers for the front for our vegetables, fruit, fresh items, in the back for our dairy items, and a freezer piece. People are going to get a shopping cart. Our clients are going to get a shopping cart. They're going to go through. And if they want cream of asparagus soup and we have it, they can have it. They can have it. And they can go shopping with dignity and grace. And so that is our focus, is to make sure all of our clients have treated with the greatest amount of dignity and grace, and that we provide for them the best that we can. So I hope that helps you have a little bit better understanding of the pantry. I know many of you have volunteered in the past, either through the board or through physically in here volunteering. We thank you for that service. Anytime that you want to come back, we'd love to have you. Please check out our website. We have a new upgraded website. Amy's put that in place since we've been here, so it's very informational. I'd like to go ahead and open it up for questions. Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
Jane?
Yes.
I have a question. So during your drive, July 1st to August 1st, what are you just looking for? Clothes? Are you looking for everything? Kids' clothes? What are you looking for?
So actually for the school supply drive, we're looking for school supplies, and you can go to our website and it gives a list of the school supplies. We are also accepting donations of clothes and kids' clothes. We were just talking this morning, we're probably going to open up, we're going to have a back to school shopping time for our clients. And one of the things that's great about our shopping area, like at Goodwill, you have to pay. Well, these folks don't really have the discretionary income to do that. We just give it to them. It's theirs. Just take it, use it. Let us help you. So yes, we are looking for gently used clothes. We're always accepting donations during our open hours. And we are talking about trying to even do a shopping day, because we have those folks in the middle. So our criteria is you can make up to 138% above the poverty level. But you got these people in the sandwich. You got the single mom with 4 kids, whatever. So going back to school and buying jeans and shirts and shoes and everything else is really expensive. So we want to open it up to them as well, really inexpensively, like $2 a bag donation. We're going to come up with a really reasonable amount. And so that's kind of where we're going with that, trying to hit that larger population that we're missing.
And what is your website?
glenedpantry.org. We also have a Facebook page, and the website will also be on the banner on the bus that Eberhard signed so graciously made to us. Cassins and First Students are loaning us the parking lot and the bus, so we're thankful for them. We are very happy, we're very gracious for our community supporters. So yes, so the back to school drive is headed out now, is on its feet right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Jane,
Hey,
Yes.
Brian. Sorry.
this is Rachel Case.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, I'm one of the marketing people at Peelwood Fire Pizza, and we're working with donations, Dine to Donate days. And we talked to Pat Slaughter, and we asked her to do a Dine to Donate, and she decided that she would do one as long as she could donate it to the food pantry, which is wonderful. And I told her that is fine, but we would like to contact you as well and sign up a day for you guys to do a Dine to Donate with us.
Great. We would love that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I will email you, and then
Okay.
we can go from there.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. That'd be great.
Absolutely. No, we're so happy to do it. So I'm glad that she said that.
Me too. Great. Thank you. Thank you. And please feel free to refer anybody. Make sure your churches, you guys as a civic organization, aware that we're here, the services that we provide. Sometimes we're not sure we're hitting all of our target audience, and that's one of our goals, is to make sure we're hitting that target audience, that we're getting those that we need. We don't require a social security card. We just require proof of residency. So let's say a utility bill, a lease, whatever. We don't want your personal information. We don't care, you know, what your status is. We just want to help those who are in need.
Hey, Jane.
Yes.
Two things. Brian, could you monitor the chat questions and ask Jane the questions?
Yeah, I was just going to get to that.
Okay, I have a question of my own. Since you're doing a shopping model, can you do online shopping as well?
We have not gone to online shopping. That's a really good, that's a good thought. We hadn't even really thought about that. So are you thinking about for food or for clothes?
Basically for everything. On your website, you can have people register just as you have the registration portal. And then pick out stuff from your inventory, and then they do curbside shopping. You just drop the stuff on your front door, they pick it up. Nobody gets sick that way.
Well, and I will tell you that our clients that have been with us a while, oftentimes they will have requests. So they'll say, hey, I need, well, of course, right now the big one is paper towels and cleaning products and hygiene products. But sometimes they'll say, hey, I have enough peanut butter and jelly. Can you leave that for somebody who needs it? But I'd really like some, salmon's a really big hit. Salmon and canned fruit, really, and Jell-O, really big ticket items. But I really like that idea. We'll see what we can do with that. I think that's very valuable. So yeah, we just do it on the phone, but we really don't do much online. So that's a really valuable piece. Thank you for suggesting that.
Welcome.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Jane, there is a question.
I have a question.
Oh, go
Sure,
ahead,
Carolyn.
It's Carrie Babington. What
Sure.
size clothes is the most desirable? Are they boys, girls, women's, men's?
You know, it's across the board right now. I will tell you, when you talk about men's, we don't have a good selection of men's. It's very, very limited on men's. We seem to have more women's. I want to try and get some spirit wear in here for our high school teens.
Okay.
You know, that's so much a part of fitting in and feeling like everybody else. So we want to try and work on getting some spirit wear in here. Sometimes trendy clothes with the younger kids. We're very fortunate. The high school just cleaned out lockers and brought us what they found in their lockers. So that'll be some nice trendy clothes that we can put out for our and then we have lots of baby stuff, but then the toddler to about age 10, we can use some of those things as well.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Hey, Jane, this is John McDowell, and so I'm involved with the district a little bit, and I was on PTO for Nelson Elementary. Would you even be interested in, like, every year Nelson Elementary has like a walkathon and it has like, it's technically spirit wear, but would you be interested, you know, obviously if kids grow out of these clothes and they don't need them anymore, would you be interested in those, even if it's a couple years old?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you know too, we started a program the end of the school year. Well, it was February, so technically the kind of the end of the school year. And we're going to start having a clothes closet in each of the schools. So they're going to come grab some gently used clothes from us in different sizes and have them in a specific location in the schools. So a child doesn't have clothes, they have an accident, whatever it is, there's a resource for them. So that's something else that we have partnered with.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that.
Oh, no, glad we can do that. That's what we should all be doing. You guys as a community club and organization, you know, that's what it's about. All of us working together to make the best community. Absolutely. Yes, Brian.
Jane, there's a question that was on the chat. When do you typically receive clothing donations? Is there a better time to bring by clothing donations, or is it just when your eyes are open, bring them by? And the second part,
open hours. Yeah,
okay.
Please bring them by during the open hours. I'm finding a lot getting dropped by the door, which is fine, except we have a huge flock. No, they're not flock, but the squirrels like our building. So and they're nosy. And so they like to get in stuff. And then with the rain, I've had some stuff ruined because of the rain.
Yeah. So what are the hours during the week for drop off?
Okay. So we are open Monday and Wednesday from 3:30 in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 5:30. So Monday and Wednesday, 3 to 5:30.
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're open 9 to 11:30. And our hours are on our website.
And the second part to that question was, do you take furniture?
We do not. We don't have the space to take that. I know that's kind of a thing right now. Goodwill's not taking furniture. I will say if you have any wood pieces, please look at Restore Decor. They take wood furniture, redo it, do some fabulous things with it, and sell it at their shop down at New Song. So always, and then their proceeds come back to the community as well.
Okay. Someone wants to know about community grants. Do you have any significant community grants out there you've received? Yeah.
So thank you to the Edwardsville Community Foundation. We recently received $10,000 from them. So we have received some COVID grants, which we are very, very thankful for. They've made our money go much further, especially with some of the buying partners that we've had. And that's the advantage of getting cash as well. We do have relationships with some partners that we can get a better bang for our buck when we're buying product. But yes, Edwardsville Foundation has been very gracious to us and supplied us with a $10,000 grant. So thank you.
There's no other questions on the chat. So does anybody have any questions? Just like to buzz in and ask?
Yeah, real quick, Brian. Jane, this is Kevin Burr, and I work for the Boy Scouts here in Madison and Bond County. And I'd like to connect afterwards. Maybe there's an opportunity over this next month to work together, do some more community outreach for each of our units for this back to school drive. I think that would be a great way to connect our kids getting back to school. So let's connect afterwards, and I'll put my email in the chat if you can read that, and then just send me a quick email, and we'll talk.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you so much. And I do want to recognize one other grant that we received, ConocoPhillips. I got a call on an afternoon, and they provided us with a grant for $25,000. So that was another grant that we had received, and United Way. So we have received several different grants, and we're thankful for them all.
Jane, I was curious. The thought of homeless people in this community is kind of mind-boggling in one sense, but I was curious, do you have a sense about how many folks would be considered homeless in this area?
I don't. And I will tell you, it's very hard to get a pulse on homeless. I was part of the Homeless Coalition for a while with the previous organization that I worked for. And many of them are couch surfers. So it's hard to get a handle on them. So in other words, that means they stay at one place for a little bit, then another place for another little bit. And it's really hard to get a handle on. Also, many of them are transient. So they stop by us to get some things, a pair of shoes. One time it was clothes. On top of the homeless backpack, we always send them with the backpack because they're on their way to Collinsville, or they're on their way to Granite, or they're on the, so sometimes it's a transient piece as well. But unfortunately, I don't have a number.
Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, Jane, I want to thank you for your presentation. It was very enlightening, and it's great work that you do there. So kudos to you.
Well, it's not me. It's, you know, it's the volunteers. It's the volunteers and my teammate, Amy. It's a coordinated effort on all of us. And I want to thank you again for having us, and again for all your support. Some of your names look familiar to me, that I know we've received support from you, and we thank you, and please continue to keep us in your thoughts and prayers.
Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I will excuse myself.
Okay. Thank you. Let me go back to something I mentioned earlier for the group's sake about changing your phone number on your screenshot. So one of the ways that you can do that is if you take your cursor on your box that you're in on the screen here and you right click, you'll get a little pop-up menu, and one of the items in there is rename. So you can change your phone number to your name or anything else. And that would make it a little bit easier for Carrie to keep track of who's here and for you to get credit as well. One of the other things you might do too is if you take your cursor and you take it across the bottom of the Zoom screen, you have all the picture slots, and then towards the bottom, you'll see a command bar. And one of those commands down there is reactions. And if you click on it, if you left click, you get an option of either clapping hands, if you want to applaud, or you can give something a thumbs up. So just a couple thoughts in case you want to take advantage of that. Anything else we need to cover? I was going to move to our breakout groups, but I'd like to try something a little bit different today. Rather than come back after the groups, I'd like to go ahead and close out with the four-way test today, and then we can go to our breakout rooms, and you can stay as long as you like and enjoy the company of fellow Rotary members.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Couple things. I'm supposed to find Carrie. For men's is not a Scrabble word. I'm not quite sure what that means, but Musanda has requested. Carrie owes $2 for that. I don't know why, but maybe he can explain that sometime. And Dave, everyone wants to know what you're cooking because you have not stopped since we came on here. So what is it?
It's called Cowboy Caviar or Texas Caviar. It's just kind of a vegetable and bean dip. Just good with with tortilla chips.
Wow.
Tomatoes, 2 different types of beans, onions, cilantro, jalapenos, lime juice.
Thanks for making us all starve now. And the only thing it's missing is you drinking an ice cold Coors right now in front of us as well. Thanks for that.
That's going to be soon.
Oh, okay. If you weren't with us last week, the breakout rooms is something that a feature that we're able to do on these Zoom meetings. And Masana's got it set up to where you can all go to different rooms and chat with each other. So it's much easier for a smaller group to chat with everybody at once. So again, stay as long as you like, enjoy the company and the fellowship. And if you would, we'll go ahead and close out officially here with the 4-way test. If you would repeat with me, of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So that officially ends our Rotary meeting, and I hope you have a good time in the breakout rooms.